Every NFL team is looking for the next rookie sensation to give their team a boost on the field, as well as a young bright star for the national media to bring attention to. There are plenty of cases in the past of players who burst onto the scene and ride the momentum to Hall of Fame careers, showing off their greatness as soon as they touch NFL turf. However, there are others who have stellar rookie seasons, and whether it's a lack of continued success on the field or outside factors, some players have their great rookie achievements lost to time. And I'm here to rank the top 10 best forgotten rookie seasons in NFL history. Number 10, Mike Williams. The Buffalo, New York native was drafted 101st overall in the 2010 draft to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In his rookie season, he started all 16 games and finished second in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting behind Sam Bradford. He had 65 receptions for 964 yards and 11 touchdowns. Those receiving touchdowns tied him with Brandon Lloyd and Hakeem Nicks for fourth in the league that season. As well as 11 touchdown receptions tied him for fourth most receiving touchdowns in a rookie campaign all time. This high level of receiving production, along with the emergence of quarterback Josh Freeman, helped the Buccaneers to a 10-6 campaign that season. However, Williams' seasons went up and down with quarterback Josh Freeman during his time with the Bucs. After a down 2012, Williams was able to reach similar numbers with the Bucs before only playing 6 games in 2013, which was also his final season in Tampa despite having just signed a 6-year contract with the team. That offseason, they traded him and a 6th-round pick to the Buffalo Bills. And what would end up being his final NFL season in 2014, Williams played for his hometown team, the Buffalo Bills, where he recorded 8 receptions for 142 yards and a touchdown. Prior to the beginning of the 2015 season, Williams received a suspension and got released from the Bills before briefly signing to the Chiefs practice squad and disappearing from the league. Number 9, Deion Jones. Going 52nd overall in the 2016 NFL Draft to the Atlanta Falcons out of LSU, Deion Jones was one of the defensive stalwarts out of that rookie class, along with Grady Jarrett, that helped the Atlanta Falcons reach Super Bowl 51 against New England Patriots. During that season, Jones collected 108 total tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble. He had 11 passes defended with 3 interceptions, as well as a league-leading 165 interception return yards, as well as tied for the league lead with 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. In the playoffs, he recorded another 20 tackles, 2 for loss, an interception, and 3 passes defended. And in the pivotal Super Bowl game in that overtime drive, he was fingertips away from stopping James White for scoring the game-winning touchdown. Following that season, he was voted 3rd in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting and was considered one of the best coverage linebackers, especially when covering running backs out of the backfield. Jones was selected to the Pro Bowl in 2017 after improving on some major statistical categories. Jones continued to play with the Falcons until 2021, where he played for 98% of the defensive snaps for the team. However, he was shipped along with a 7th-round pick to the Cleveland Browns for a 6th-round pick following that season. Jones only started 5 games for Cleveland this past season. As of recording of this video, he is now a free agent. Number 8, Carlos Williams. Derwin James' cousin was drafted in the 5th round of the 2015 NFL Draft to the Buffalo Bills. He played safety for the first 2 seasons of his career at Florida State, before switching to running back and seeing some production his junior year, then getting stuck on the depth chart behind Dalvin Cook for his senior season. His lone season in the NFL was a successful one, as he appeared 11 games and started in 3, while LaShawn McCoy dealt with injury. Williams scored on his first ever carry versus the Indianapolis Colts, and proceeded to score in each of his first 6 games he appeared in, which tied a record held by New England Patriots running back Robert Edwards, for most consecutive games scoring a touchdown to begin a career. He finished the season scoring a touchdown in 8 of his 11 appearances, and he looked promising and poised to create a dynamic 1-2 punch at running back with McCoy for the Rex Ryan era, which relied upon a heavy rushing attack. Williams showed up to his 2016 training camp overweight and unmotivated, which, combined with a substance abuse suspension, caused him to be cut by the Bills in June. Williams then signed with the Steelers practice squad before receiving 2 more substance abuse suspensions, which he would eventually be reinstated from in 2019. He signed with the Toronto Argonauts of the CFL in 2020 and did not record a single statistic before retiring from football in 2021. While not the most statistically impressive season, only rushing 93 times for 517 yards and 7 rushing touchdowns, as well as catching 11 balls for 96 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, it was a record-tying year which could have been even greater if not for the 5 missed games due to injury. And listen, man, you weren't there. As somebody who owned a Carlos Williams jersey post-2015, the excitement was real, and he deserves to be on this list because screw him for what he did to me and other Bills fans who were hopeful for anything on that offense post-2015 in the Rex Ryan era. Number 7, D'Amico Ryans. Ryans was the 33rd overall pick in the 2006 NFL Draft by the Houston Texans. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2006, with a league-leading 126 solo tackles, which was the record at the time until the following season when Patrick Willis would break it. He was also second to only Zach Thomas in total tackles, 4th most combined tackles for a rookie linebacker behind Patrick Willis, Luke Kuechly, and a later entry on this list. Other notable stats from that season were an interception, 7 passes defended, 3.5 sacks, and 13 tackles for loss. Following this season, he was selected to 2 Pro Bowls, once in 2007 and 2009. He played in 6 seasons for Houston before joining the Eagles for his final 4 seasons of his career. Only 2 seasons following his rookie season, 2007 in Houston and 2013 in Philly, did he have more combined tackles than the 126 solo tackles he recorded in 2006. He was relatively healthy, playing all 16 games outside of 3 seasons. However, his career ended with injury after he suffered a torn Achilles in a playoff loss to New Orleans Saints. Ryans was hired to the San Francisco 49ers coaching staff in 2017, serving as defensive quality coach, then inside linebackers coach before finding large acclaim as defensive coordinator from 2021 until 2023. He is now back in Houston news as he took the head coaching job for the Houston Texans this past offseason and is ready to try to turn that franchise around, hoping to reclaim some of the accolades he gained since his rookie year back in 2006. Number 6, Mark Anderson. Anderson was drafted out of Alabama in the 5th round of the 2006 NFL Draft to the Chicago Bears. He led the 13-3 Bears with 12 sacks, which was good enough for 8th in the league and 5th most in a rookie season ever recorded. And he did all of this while only recording 1 start that season. He and teammate Alex Brown combined for the most amount of sacks for the Bears since 1993, and that 2006 Bears team went all the way to the Super Bowl where Anderson recorded half a sack on Peyton Manning in a losing effort. Anderson finished second in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting behind his former college teammate DeMeco Ryans. Anderson didn't reach his rookie sack total over the next 3.5 seasons as a Bear combined. He was released and signed with the Houston Texans where he added 4 sacks in 11 games alongside Ryans. In a weird tradition of players having career resurgences in New England, Anderson signed and recorded 10 sacks in 2011 season despite only having 1 start. He recorded another 1.5 sacks in the Super Bowl 46 where his team also lost. Anderson was signed to a 4-year, $20 million contract with the Bills, because of course he did, and gave the team 12 total tackles and 1 sack in 5 games before blowing his knee out and being released at the end of the season. Number 5, Dante Robinson. Robinson was the 10th overall selection in the 2004 draft for the Houston Texans. Slotting in as a starting outside corner for the Texans immediately, he rewarded them with 6 interceptions, which was tied for 3rd in the NFL, while being 5th in the interception return yards, 3 sacks, and 88 combined tackles. His 19 passes defended are tied for 5th most in NFL history for a rookie, which helped him place 2nd in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting behind Jets linebacker Jonathan Vilma. Robinson continued to play at a good level for the Texans, however he never regained the statistical performances he set in his rookie season, let alone surpassed them. Following 2006 season, he never recorded double-digit passes defended. 2007 and 2008 were both clouded with injury, and Robinson was the first ever Texan to receive the franchise tag ahead of the 2009 season. 2009 was not a good year for Robinson. He played in all 16 games with 9 passes defended. He had more fines for shoes in this season than he had interceptions when he wore "Pay Me Rick" on his cleats versus the Jets, which cost him $25,000. He signed a 6-year, $54 million contract with Atlanta in the 2010 offseason. His 3 years as a Falcon are more remembered for his fines collected from dirty hits on receivers to Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin than it was for his 4 interceptions and 24 passes defended. He was cut in 2013 to save cap for the Falcons. Robinson signed a 1-year deal with the Chiefs, played in 8 games recording 4 passes defensed, before being out of the league come March of 2014. Number 4, Kiko Alonso. Shocker, there's another Buffalo Bill on here. Alonso was selected 46th overall by the Bills in 2013 after playing 4 seasons at Oregon. In his lone season as a Bill, Alonso logged the 3rd most tackles in the league, as well as the 3rd most combined tackles by a rookie linebacker all time. 11 tackles for loss and 4 interceptions, which is tied for the 5th most by a rookie linebacker all time. Alonso finished 2nd in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting in 2013, falling 4 votes short of Sheldon Richardson. While training in the offseason, Alonso tore his ACL and missed the entire 2014 NFL season. Because of course he did, because we can never have anything nice! Despite having a great rookie campaign and being talked about as the Bills' middle linebacker of the future, he will always be remembered for being the player the Eagles traded LaShawn McCoy for straight up 1-for-1. Alonso spent 1 year in Philly where he started a single game and collected 43 total tackles and an interception. Meanwhile, McCoy spent 4 seasons in Buffalo compiling over 5,000 all-purpose yards and 30 touchdowns. He was then traded in a package which included a first-round pick, which would later become Laramie Tunsil, and Byron Maxwell for the 8th overall pick, which was then packaged by the Eagles to move up to the 2nd overall and select Carson Wentz. Alonso spent 3 seasons in Miami being a respectable level starter, highlighted by him trying to kill Joe Flacco, until he was traded to New Orleans Saints for Vince Beagle. After 1 season with 4 starts for the Saints, Alonso and a 5th round pick was traded to the 49ers for Quan Alexander, where Alonso failed his physical and was released. Kiko signed with the Saints for 1 day in 2022 and subsequently retired. While not as statistically impressive as a player like DeMeco Ryans, Alonso's legacy will always be dwarfed by who he wasn't. Let me know if anybody remembers Kiko Alonso outside of being that guy who Chip Kelly traded LaShawn McCoy in his prime for. Number 3, Anthony Henry. Henry was a 4th round selection by the Cleveland Browns out of the University of South Florida. While only starting 2 games, Henry tied for the league lead in interceptions with 10. This was also good enough to tie him for 5th all-time interceptions by a rookie, with every player in front of him on that list in eras where there were no more than 2 good quarterbacks allowed to play in the league. He was also 4th in interception return yards, took one back for a 97-yard touchdown, and collected 54 total tackles. You may not have heard of any of Henry's accomplishments, since the 2001 Cleveland Browns are mostly remembered for Tim Couch and the Bottlegate incident. Henry placed second to Kendrell Bell in the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting. He steadily earned more starts as his 4-year career as a Brown continued, eventually being named starter in 2003. Hitting free agency in 2005, he signed with the Dallas Cowboys to bolster their secondary. Fighting through injuries nearly every season as a Cowboy, Henry still put up some impressive numbers, including a 2-interception, 21 passes defended 2006 season. Eventually, age and injuries caught up to Henry, and he was traded to the Detroit Lions in 2009 and eventually lost his starting job before retiring at the end of the year. Henry recorded one of the 9 10-plus interception seasons since the year 2000 as a rookie, and is at best relegated to memory as a decent corner on America's team later in his career. Number 2, Mike Anderson. This might anger some diehard Denver Broncos fans and old football historians, but as somebody who lives and breathes the NFL and football in the modern day, I had never heard of Mike Anderson before I started doing research for this list. After playing no sports in high school, Anderson joined the Marine Corps post-graduating. He then played contact football for the 11th Marines team, where a Mount St. Jacinto Junior College assistant coach took note of him there. After spending 2 seasons in junior college, Anderson transferred to Utah and played another 2 seasons there before being drafted in the 6th round of the 2000 NFL Draft. This was all set up to say that he was a 27-year-old rookie, and as a 27-year-old rookie, Anderson recorded the 5th most rushing yards in NFL history by a rookie running back. His 1,487 yards were good for the 4th in the league that year. His 15 touchdowns on the ground are tied for 2nd all-time by a rookie, and was also 2nd in the league that season, only being surpassed by 2000's MVP Marshall Faulk. Anderson's 251 yards against the New Orleans Saints is the 5th most by a rookie in a single game, only to be surpassed by his 4 rushing touchdowns he scored that day, which is tied for the single-game record by a rookie running back. He is also the only back in NFL history to have 3 games of over 175 yards in their first season. He ran away with 80% of the vote for Offensive Rookie of the Year, beating out Jamal Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens. Anderson was slowed by injuries over the next 4 seasons, including missing the entire 2004 season after tearing both groin muscles blocking on a punt return in the preseason. He came back in 2005 at age 32 and rushed for 1,014 yards and 12 touchdowns in what ended up being his final season as a Bronco, being cut so the team could get under the salary cap following that season. He ended up being a backup to Jamal Lewis on the Baltimore Ravens and played 1.5 seasons before being cut and retiring from football entirely. Anderson still holds several rookie running back records for the Broncos and holds an NFL record for most time between 2 seasons of 1,000 rushing yards or more. While Anderson may not be forgotten by Broncos Nation, his level of accolades deserve to be more well-known league-wide.
Broncos country, let's ride.
And before we get to number 1, here are a few honorable mentions. Chris Borland, the 2014 third-round pick for the San Francisco 49ers, had 108 combined total tackles, 12 tackles for loss, and had 2 interceptions in 8 starts after taking over for Patrick Willis due to a toe injury. He finished 4th in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting, and you may know him because he is famous for retiring after only 1 season due to head injury concerns. So worried about concussions in the NFL, he sacrificed 3/4 of his rookie signing bonus to be able to retire early. Giovanni Bernard, a second-round pick in the 2013 draft for the Bengals, he accumulated 1,209 total scrimmage yards that season. He finished 3rd in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting, which is surprising to me because he is most well known as being more of a journeyman backup running back who could never take over the starting role while he was a Bengal. He went to Tampa Bay for the final 2 seasons of his career before they wound down and he saw very little action. He retired this previous year on April 28th of 2023. Reuben Foster. Drafted at the end of the first round of the 2017 draft, Foster finished 3rd in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting after compiling 72 total tackles and 7 tackles for loss in 10 starts for the 49ers. He was suspended 2 games for a weapons misdemeanor, and after coming back, he was suspended once again for a domestic violence charge, which forced his release from the 49ers. He was picked up off of waivers by Washington, and in his first practice for Washington, he tore his ACL and was out of the league. This past spring, he played in the USFL for the Pittsburgh Maulers and recorded 53 tackles and 3 tackles for losses. Number 1, Anthony Thomas. Selected 38th overall out of Michigan by the Chicago Bears, Thomas recorded 1,138 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns, which was good enough to win him the 2001 Offensive Rookie of the Year award. Now you might be asking, why is Thomas ranked number 1? 1,138 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns is good, but it's nothing insane. Well, you have to just look at who he beat that year for the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. That just so happened to be LaDainian Tomlinson of the San Diego Chargers, who finished with more rushing yards, more rushing touchdowns, and more receiving yards as a rookie than Anthony Thomas in 2001. Thomas did set 3 Bears single-game rookie records at the time, with 188 yards against the Bengals, which also gave him 8.55 yards per carry, and broke the 3rd record against the Jaguars in Week 17 with 33 carries in a single game. He continued to be the Bears' starting running back over the next 2 seasons, including cracking 1,000 yards in only 13 games for the 2003 Bears. Anthony Thomas was replaced by Thomas Jones as the starting running back for the Chicago Bears in 2004. In 2005, he was brought in to back up Julius Jones in Dallas before he was replaced by Marion Barber II. And with his lack of special teams ability, he was cut. Given one more chance with New Orleans due to a Deuce McAllister knee injury for the season, Thomas recorded 12 yards on 7 carries as a Saint. And of course, this list would not be complete without mentioning the fact that Thomas signed a deal with the Buffalo Bills, where he did the football equivalent of nothing for 2 seasons before retiring from the game entirely. Anthony Thomas really did have a great rookie season in 2001. However, he's not going to be remembered for having such a great season. The only thing he is most likely to be remembered for, outside of a diehard Bears fan, is that he took away that achievement from LaDainian Tomlinson, who arguably deserved it more than him. And that is why I believe Anthony Thomas had the most forgotten great rookie season in recent NFL history. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. Leave in the comments what you want me to do for my next top 10. Check me out on my other social media such as Twitter, Instagram, and I'm going to be streaming on Kick soon, so keep an eye out for that. If you're following the Twitter, you'll be updated first. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.